Recording it.
Don't forget it. Well, hello, everyone. Hello, everyone on Zoom. Hello, everyone on Facebook. And hello, everyone who is catching the replay. Welcome, welcome to day 3 of the Pleasure Principle, where we are talking about the artistry of life. Day 1, we talked about the business of pleasure and how to infuse more fun and more pleasure into your work. And then day 2 is the intimacy factor, how to really connect in deeply with ourselves and with others. And today we're talking about the artistry of life. And I'm so excited to be here with you and to chat with you. We are going to have a great giveaway tonight in the crystal bowl here. I've got some names, and the person who wins is either they get to decide, and whoever wins either gets access to the Prosperity Blueprint, which is a program I've created around abundance, or a channel session, which is like a business mapping session, but we're really going to tap into your intuition and some other things. So you get to decide whether you want a one-on-one conversation with me, where we really create a plan for your future for the year. We'll meet in January of 2023. Or if you are ready to dive in, you can go ahead and be in the Prosperity Blueprint. It's something we can add you to. So I'll try to remember to do that at the end. Let me just put myself a note here. Just so I give away. How's your week going? It has been a pretty great week for me in terms of life. Everything has been wonderful. And also a really hard week for me in terms of some lessons that I've been going through and some up-leveling I've been doing and some internal work that was required. And a lot has been going on in the cosmos in terms of energy, and it's been a lot. So how are you doing? I'm going to check and make sure everything's working here. I think everything's working. And I'm excited to dive in. So, like I said, today is day 3 of the Pleasure Principle. Now, I want to explain a little bit more about this free mini program, and also what I see happening with it and what I see happening in the near future. So I created this mini program with just like a download. I had a download of what I wanted to create. I knew it was going to be about enjoyment and pleasure and creating just a beautiful foundation for our next level, for our work, for our missions, for our leadership, for our lives. And then I knew I was going to expand that conversation in the new year. And so in the new year, we'll have another mini program, and it'll be in this group. And we will also, it'll be on Zoom. We'll have a YouTube replay, all of those things. And then I will take it later on and create a program out of the live stream. So these 3 live streams, and I'm anticipating 5 in the new year. These will be created into a program that will be sort of the foundation of what I plan to put out into the world. So this is actually a wonderful time for me to talk about that. Let me tap in. Let's take some deep breaths, and I'll decide where I want to go next with each of us, and I'll stop playing with my hair. I realize I do that all the time. I'm just like messing with it all the time. Okay, so let's get into the vibe of being here. If you are not driving or in a place where you can't close your eyes, please don't close your eyes. But if you're in a place that you can, let's all take a minute and close our eyes and take in some deep breaths. So we're getting grounded into the energy, the time, the space, being here together in this moment, whether it's in real time or on a replay. We are here now together then we are in the energy. And if you can, feel a little golden thread that connects me to you and you to all of the other people who are listening to this mini program and this module. Taking another deep breath. In through your nose. And out your mouth. Feel your shoulders drop. Get connected to now, the time and space now. We are here together. And I'm so happy. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Like I said. So I think what I'll do is I'll go through the module and then I will share with you what is coming next. And then we'll do the giveaway and that will be the evening. Oh, I need to light our candle and do our sage too. I forgot to do that while the music was playing, but I feel like it's really important in terms of the rituals that we do. And I don't know, do you have any rituals that you do at home? Do you have any things that you do where through your work or through your day that you just do every single day and you feel like it's missing if not? I'm a big fan of rituals, but I also don't do them every day. I don't have the capacity or the schedule or the time. And I think that if I had a family life that was a little bit more traditional, I might, but I don't. So there's not really like a great plan. Ooh. Clear the energy. A little magic here. And so while I think rituals are very important and I really love them, I also find myself picking and choosing. And I think it's totally okay to do that. So, today is all about the artistry of your life, creating just a gorgeous masterpiece of your entire life. And it took me a long time to get here, although I've been a work in progress for a really long time. And I'm really good at knowing what I like, and I'm really good at infusing what I like into my life and really feeling like that's important, but I didn't used to be. I used to settle a lot. I used to say that my desires were silly or they were pretentious or they were not really, they were secondary. And that what mattered was that I was busy. What mattered was that I was productive. And what mattered was that I got everything done and I held the container really well. And so I let things go. I let go of my love of things and love of fine things. And I let go of my love of travel for a while. And I let go of all kinds of things because it just made sense to. And then I realized they were all gone. And that was not fun because a huge piece of me was missing. And you know, when I became a mom, a lot of that happened. We had to get rid of a lot of things because they were breakable and life got much busier. I was working, I worked part-time until the boys were 3, and then I worked full-time for quite a while. And then I've worked in my business, which has been more than full-time, to be honest with you. And it has been an interesting ride, I have to say. But when my time was not my own, when my time was not dedicated to my business, when my time was dedicated to my work as a therapist, and in a place where time was different, and my husband's time was different, and then I was at home and my time wasn't my own because my time was my children's. I lost a lot of me. And that was a significant learning experience. So I've been there, and I know what it's like to let go of a lot of things. And I know what it's like to forget. And I know what it's like to remember. And remember what lights us up. And remember that there are things out there that can be ours, and that it's okay to desire things, and it's okay to desire experiences. And our desires of experiences might not fit in with everyone else's. I have friends who love to sleep under the stars. They love to hike. They love to camp out. They love all that. And that stuff is not for me. But that's luxury for them. Being able to go and camp out and sleep under the stars is such a luxurious experience, to be away from their phones and from the demands of their work. That's luxury to them. Luxury to me is going and sitting on a beach and listening to the waves and reading a book and not worrying about my kids and really feeling good, feeling turned on. Luxury to me is crystal glasses that my parents gave me. Luxury to me is beautiful candles that smell amazing. Luxury to me is being able to make my own time schedule, even though I think I do work more than I did as a full-time supervisor therapist. Luxury is me being able to take a nap in the afternoon. And the artistry of our lives can look however we want it to look. We can infuse our lives with books, art books, and photography books, or plants, or gardening. We can infuse our lives with so many different things. And none of it's bad, and none of it's wrong, and all of it's important. So I want to share with you some ways to create your life as a masterpiece. And the first piece is the permission to say yes. You have the permission to say yes. I wrote a post about this last week, and I wrote an email about it too. Excuse me. And often we forget that we have the permission to say yes. Often we feel like we need permission. We need permission from other people. We need permission from our spouses. We need permission from powers that be. We need the permission, but you already have the permission. Your soul has already told you. You have the permission to say yes, and you get to decide. And you also, on the flip side, have the permission to say no. You have the permission to not go to that event. You have the permission to not do the things that don't light you up. You have the permission to figure it out and to make it work for you. The permission is yours. And that's the first step. It's just knowing. You have the permission to get to know you and what lights you up and what turns you on. And then you have the permission to go figure it out. You have the permission to seek help and healing and support and love and all of the things. The permission is yours. The next step is to get into the rooms that light you up, that support you to heal, and that encourage your growth. Whatever rooms those are. Get into those rooms. Decide that you are worthy of them. Decide that they are for your next level. Decide that they will benefit you, and get in there and do it. Make room, make space. People want you in there. You belong. You fit in. You have what it takes. You are exactly where you need to be. You have permission to go in. You have permission to say hello. You have permission to do what you need to do in those spaces, whatever spaces they are. whether that is a one-on-one experience with a therapist or a group coaching portal or a course or a meetup. You were supposed to be there, so go do it. And get yourself in there, get yourself in the rooms, show up and go do it. If you have social anxiety like I do, then do the ones that feel right to you and be in the situations that feel right to you. Cheers. The next thing is to surround yourself with things you love. So whatever that is, whatever the things that you love, whether you love to cook and you want to surround yourself with cookbooks or dishes, or you love crystal glasses and you want to surround yourself with crystal glasses, or you love books and you want to surround yourself with books, or you want to have plants and you want to surround yourself with plants, or none of that. You're a minimalist and you don't want to surround yourself with any of that. Surround yourself with energy and people and things and experiences and all of the things that light you up. Invest in the things that make you feel like you. Invest your time, invest your energy, invest your money into the things that make you feel so good and so lit up. I think that is such an important thing that we forget to do. We're so busy, we're serving all these other people, we're leading missions and companies and big things, and we forget to invest in surrounding ourselves with things that we love. You have to make the time for it. So if you love going to cooking classes, get it on your calendar. If you love to go watch movies, get it on your calendar. If you love going to art museums and there's not great ones in your city, make time on your calendar to travel and go see art in different cities. I didn't realize that till recently. We were in New York City in the fall. We went to a few museums and I was just like lit up and just turned on. And so then when we were in London recently, I had that same experience of just like lit up by the museums and the art. And I knew that that's part of the masterpiece of my life, is being able to go to museums. And I like our museums here. We have a nice one, but I want to go all of the time. I want to be surrounded by really amazing art. It's part of my soul. It's part of me. I am an artist and I'm also an art lover. So the next thing goes into kind of more of your body. And this is just as important in terms of creating this beautiful masterpiece of your life. Get good sleep. And I don't know about you, I don't know how old you are, but it's harder and harder to get good sleep when we get older. And so we have to do more to figure that out. Get your hormones figured out, get whatever it is that, in terms of the food that you're digesting and the food that you're eating and the beverages that you're drinking, and figure out how you get the best sleep that you possibly can. That will create so much beauty and magic in your life. Eat the best foods. So I hate to tell you, but fast food, not the best. Chipotle, not the best, although it's super yummy. Qdoba, not the best, super yummy. McDonald's, probably not great, even though it tastes good. You want to be eating foods that are whole. You want to be eating foods that serve you. You've got to figure out what works for you. I know for me, gluten, dairy, sugar, not my friends. And so I'll eat gluten every once in a while and then realize, oh, this is not good for me. And then I'll stop, stop eating it and then start eating it again. So that, I think, really contributes to how you feel in your body. The sleep and the food just really creates a environment for you to go and do the things that you want to do in a really powerful way. And it's easy to be like, I'm in such a hurry and I want to I just need to order in, and I do that too. And I have to really work on that because it's so easy to order food and have it delivered, but it's just not necessarily serving me. It would be better for me to eat some quinoa with some greens and some vegetables and maybe a little protein and have that all put together. So, consume things that lift you up. So consume movies, consume social media, consume books, consume food, consume whatever you're consuming, whatever is going into you, into your psyche, into your body, into your energy, consume it, knowing that it is lifting you up. So if it's not lifting you up, if it's leaving you feeling yucky, stop consuming it. Just let it go. If it's friends on social media, just snooze them. I really think that that's sometimes the best thing to do for a while. And you can always go back or unfollow people. Let them go. If it's not making you feel good, it's about you, not about them. So your experience is your own experience, and you get to decide if you're going to just let other things dictate how you are in the world, or if you're going to be the narrator of your own story. And I recommend knowing and being very conscious of the things that you're consuming and whether or not they really are serving you. And this is piggybacking onto that, but find non-sensational news sources. I think that's really important. I think it's a commentary on our time, but the news that's out there in the world is, and the news sources out there in the world are very sensational and very, they're created to pull you in and to get you to read more stories. And so if you can find news sources that are impartial to some degree, or a couple, I recommend doing that. Sometimes it's nice to see both sides of a story, like reading the Wall Street Journal and then reading the New York Times is really nice because you can see both sides of the story. Sorry for the noise. So really, we have children home tonight, which is fun. I wanted to make sure that we were in a celebratory mood, and that's why I did this late in the evening. But usually I don't do live streams at this time for this reason. I do them during the day. I do all of my programs during the day, and this is the reason why, is because my focus needs to be on them usually, and they're also kind of loud. So, but I did want to have some champagne with you, so that's why we're here this evening. Cheers. So really think about the things that you're consuming and what you're bringing into your energy and how that's impacting your life. And none of this is perfect. So I have been in periods of time, like I'm in this period of time right now, which I'm going to get out of soon, but I'm on social media into the evening, and it's fun for me because I'm posting things on Instagram stories that I love and that I'm really into, and it's like a real vibe and I'm really into it. But I'm sure at some point I'll tell myself, okay, we need to like set some boundaries around this again, because I've had them in the past. Or like consuming news late into the evening. I try not to do that. I try to be aware of the news sources that I'm consuming. But for a while there, I was just reading the news all the time. I was just like in this, and my news was like a lot of gossipy stuff, like a lot of like celebrity gossip was my news hits, and then some real stories too. And or I guess not real stories, but stories about the world. And it just left me in a different mood. It left me in a different energetic vibration. And I think it's really important to think about your energetic vibration. And so really think about when you're consuming something on social media, how does it affect your energetic vibration? How do foods affect your energetic vibration? How does alcohol affect your energetic vibration? And then decide, is that in my highest good? And do I do that a little bit, or do I let go of it completely? Or how does it all fit in to my world and my life? And the last thing I want to say about creating a masterpiece of your life is to let go of the stuff that doesn't serve you. Let go of the things that are not in your highest good. Take a break from them, give yourself some time, give yourself some space, and don't have shame around it. Just allow yourself to be okay with letting it go for you, knowing that it just doesn't serve you. So if relationships aren't serving you, conversations aren't serving you, things you're consuming aren't serving you, it's nobody else's business but yours, and you can let those things go. And it can be really powerful when you do that. So when you're creating the masterpiece of your life, it really is about the things that are around you and impacting you. And there is some thought about how you go about it. And I have to say, one of the things that I think is really important, and I said this yesterday, and I think I said it the day before too, is this whole concept about knowing yourself so well and healing the pieces of you that need to be healed in order for you to get deeper into who you are and the work that you're here to do and your mission. Because we need leaders. We need people with huge missions who are here to do big things for the world. And whatever way that they're doing them, we need them to feel so good. We need them to show up with so much energy and an energetic vibration that only we can connect to. We're done with the energy of leaders being in a bad space or an unenergetic, low-level vibe. That no longer can fly. We're too savvy for that. It's not something that we can buy into anymore. And it doesn't have to be perfect. This is not a perfection game. This is a depth game. And so in order to create the masterpiece of your life, where your relationships are amazing and your impact is really powerful in whatever way that means, in whatever way that you are a leader, and there are all kinds of ways that you are a leader, all of that is impacted by you and how you feel about your life and your health, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. It really is impacted by who you are and how you show up in the world. And let me tell you, you have got this. We need you. We need your work. We need you to do what you're here to do. There isn't a hierarchy of leaders. There's not just one person at the top. It's a circle of leaders. And we're all here to impact the world in our own special way. And the only way that we can do that is if we feel turned on, tuned in, tapped in, tapped on. And the only way we can do that is if we are connected and healed and feeling amazing about who we are and the work that we are here to do. So I really want you to take this and go far with it. Really think about, what would it look like if I created my life to be such a masterpiece? Who would go? Who would just be disinvited from the party of my life? And who would be invited? And what would I get rid of immediately? What closet would I clean? What would I say goodbye to? What behaviors would I stop engaging in? What conversations would I be done with? What relationships would no longer be in alignment for me? That's a really hard question. That's a deep question. Do I really want to unpack this question? And maybe you don't right now, or you don't have to. But in order for you to get to there, I have a feeling that things will have to shift and change. And I'm here for it. I'm here for you, and I'm here for your growth and your masterpiece. I want to know what that looks like for you. And I want to know because I want to support you. And I want to know because I know that it doesn't have to look like mine. It doesn't have to feel like mine. But I want to know what it looks like and feels like for you. It gets to be so beautiful. So if you have any questions, pop them into the comments right now so I can answer them. And we will get to the next part. Let me look. Oh, let's see here. So how do you work through letting things go? How do you work through letting things go? Okay, so this is how I would do it. I would first figure out what needs to be let go, and I would really get into the nuances of that. So let's say there's a relationship that you're in, but you're not wanting to let go of the relationship. You're just wanting to like shift the relationship. I would look at what conversations I'm no longer going to participate in. I would look at what kind of patterns I'm no longer wanting to be a part of. And then I would consciously shift them. I would either have a conversation and say, hey, we're not doing that anymore. I'm not going to be a part of that anymore. Or I'd like your help in this. I'd like your help in shifting this. And I really want your support and your love. And if you can't do that, that's okay. That's up to you. But this is where I am, and this is my boundary. And if it's not a conversation that can be had, it could be more of just like shifting the energy and shifting your internal boundary of what you're available for. Let me know if that answered your question. Yes. All right, great. Good. Good. Any more questions? I know I need to get some support, but I have a hard time finding it. How do you go about finding the right support? That's a great question. Okay, so you really have to think about what the thing is that you need to work through is, and then you can find the best resource for you. So I'm going to use a couple of my examples. Today I wrote a post on my personal Facebook page and on my Instagram page about this pattern in friendships I had. I actually talked about it in this group, in the Facebook Maven group earlier today too. But this pattern in female relationships that I had, and I was just done with it. I couldn't figure it out anymore. I was exhausted. I was heartbroken, and I couldn't be in those relationships anymore. It was no longer possible. And so I knew with that heartbreak that I needed therapy. I needed to go see a therapist. I needed to do the deep work. I knew there was something going on with me, but I needed the deep work to work through it. And so I found a therapist, and at that point I had been a therapist, so I know all the therapy tricks, and I knew all the therapy things that I couldn't stand. So I had to find a therapist that I knew I would not eat for lunch. And I know that sounds really kind of entitled, and I agree it is. But I knew I had done the work. I knew what it looked like to be in therapy. And I knew kind of the nuances of conversation. And so I think everything happens for a reason. And I had met this therapist and in a social setting, and I decided to reach out to her and say, hey, I've got some work to do, and it's nothing really super big, but I need to work through it, and I'd really love your help. And she was like, let's do it. So we did, and it was wonderful. And we both were very aware of our boundaries, and that made it wonderful. And so if I saw her in a social situation, we were very clear on what our boundaries were, and I worked through the stuff. And then there have been other things where I have really worked on my relationship with money. And so I buy books. And if I'm turned on by the person talking about it, I buy their book. I've invested in multiple courses about money. I read posts about money, and I really have dived into my own relationship with money. And I've just followed the intuition and the signs for that. So, and I follow my intuition a lot. And what that looks like for me is following the nudges. So I feel like people come into my life, people enter my life that I end up following on social media, or that I end up reading their book, or I end up getting to know them, and I feel like they come into my life for a reason. And I truly believe that. And so I trust that. And then I do the work with them. And sometimes I'm done after that, and I don't pursue working with them any further. And sometimes I don't, and I keep working with them for years, and in some capacity or another. And sometimes they don't even know who I am. I followed Gabby Bernstein for years and years, and I read all of her books, and I did Spirit Junkie Masterclass, and I did some of her other things, and I was in her membership, and I was crazy about her. And then one day I was like, you know what? I think she's great. I think she's fabulous, but I'm kind of like ready to move on, and I'm ready to like add in other things into my energy, and I'm going to let her go. And I stopped following her completely, and I still get her emails, and I read her emails, and that feels really aligned to me. And I still pick up her books, and I still read them every once in a while, but I'm not so dedicated to her anymore as I am to other people who are out there. And I've gotten a lot more discerning and smart about who I invest my time and my energy and my money into. And there are things that have boxes that have to be ticked for me in terms of integrity, contracts, being clear about terms and conditions, and things like that, where I know what I'm signing up for. And discernment has become a huge piece for me about that. I hope that answered your question. Hey, I'm so excited. Okay, so let me see who's here. I'm going to write down some names, and then we're going to put them in our crystal ball so you get your names in there. But there's a bit more here. Oops, sorry. And then we will cut it out. So I wanted to make sure the people who came on live just got their name into the crystal ball just a little bit more. Thank you for being here. Whether you're on the replay or you are on the live here, thank you for coming. I'm so excited. It's been so fun. And I really can't wait to do the one in the new year too. And I can't wait to tell you about the next thingy. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, put these in the bowl here. And then here's our crystal. Let me show you this. This is so fun. My phone here, so I don't knock it off. The bowl of papers. Tons of them in there. Okay. I almost can't like I can't do this. This is so fun. I want to look down because I don't want to like see it and then know before I pick. Okay, let's see. Brandy. Yay. I love Brandy. Brandy and I are friends. She is also my esthetician and she is amazing. If you need a good esthetician in Franklin, Tennessee, I highly recommend her. Let me know. I will connect you. But Brandy, you won. Congratulations. Yay. Okay. So, Brandy, you have either won the Prosperity Blueprint, my course on abundance, or a channel session with me. So either way, I think it's super exciting. I can't wait for you to decide, and we will go from there. Okay, and we're also doing giveaways. So even past this free mini program, when you invite people into the Maven Facebook group, you invite people to follow Magnificent Mavens on Instagram, your name goes into the crystal bowl, and then when we do giveaways, we pull out and some pull names out. And sometimes it's like a real gift, like a gift that I'll send you in the mail. Sometimes it's a free access to something that I have. So it's really a lot of fun. And sometimes it's like cool things, like for someone recently, I did an actual like channeled message. Instead of a channeling session, I just tapped into her energy and did a card reading and did like this whole channeling message. And it was so perfect for her in so many ways. It was beautiful. So, okay. All right. So let me tell you about what's coming next in terms of the work that I do, because I think it's really important and really powerful. And it's been a long time coming. And I've really hesitated on this work for a lot of reasons. I wasn't fully healed to do this work until recently. There was a missing piece that needed to happen. I had a lot of it encoded into me. I have a lot encoded to me. I've done a lot of work. I can hold the container, I can hold the space, but I just needed to get to that spot of knowing that I can do that and that I can do it safely and well. And recently I had that click. And like I was saying in my live stream earlier today, for a while I gave my power away to letting someone else decide, kind of in a weird sort of way, about what I was going to do next. And that just didn't end up working the way that I wanted it to. And I realized that I'm here to do big things. I'm willing to do the work. I want to do the work. And I also want it to be amazing and life-changing and deep. So next year, I am running a year-long container, and it's called the Ignited Woman. And inside the Ignited Woman will be 7 courses, maybe 8. I'll have to recount them, but there'll be 7 significant courses that we will work through. And so if you decide that you want to be a part of the Ignited Woman, you're deciding to be a part of it for a year. And it's not necessarily delivered the same for each course. So there's some courses that are completely in person, that there's not going to be very much like ancillary work, extra work. And then there's some programs that what it'll be is more of you listening to things or consuming things, and then we will meet and talk about them. It's a commitment of your time, and it's a commitment of your finances. I really think that it's a master's level program for leadership and for feminine leadership and sacred leadership. And so the courses sound like this. There's going to be Lover, which is about intimacy and self-love, which Lover has been that in the past. There's going to be Ignited, which is about magnetism, attracting in what you desire. It's going to be really about the energy. And I had a program called the Energy Effect, and it's going to be somewhat like that, where it's about the energy of you, what you put out and what you bring in. It'll be different though. There's a program called Ripen, and I think I'm going to call it Ripen, Sex, Love, and Rock and Roll, but it's really going to be about sexuality. It's going to be about igniting yourself orgasmically, with or without a lover, and it's going to be really fun. It's going to be really deep. And this can apply to you no matter what your sexual orientation is. Then there will be a money program. There will be a program called the Intimate Leader, which will be about leadership. And there will be a program about sisterhood, which is community, and there'll be a program about motherhood. Now, the big question I think will be for people who do not have children, does this apply to them? And I would say yes, because everyone has had a mother of some kind. And whether you are a mother or not, you probably do some nurturing and you probably do some mothering, whether you are in that role or you're not in that role. And so I'd say yes, that program does apply to you. And it also applies to you if you have children. It applies to you in a different way if you have children. So tomorrow I will be offering all of the information about the Ignited Woman, and it's on a pre-sale right now. And so it's significantly discounted until the beginning of the year. And I would recommend that if you've been following me, if you've been in my world, if you know that I am the person to be along the journey with you and to hold the container with you, that you jump in, because the price will rise and then it'll rise again. And this is my thank you to you for being here, and my thank you for being here on the cusp of something really amazing, and for trusting me. And I just want you to know you're so welcome, and I just can't wait to do this. Also, there will be a VIP, the Ignited Woman. It's called the Ignited Woman VIP, and that includes 2 monthly VIP calls, which there'll be some pretty strict boundaries around conversations that we have, because we won't be discussing necessarily the people that are in the Ignited Woman. We'll be discussing the topics, but I want to be very clear about what those boundaries will look like as we're moving into it. Because it could be really easy to be like, that girl, that woman over there, she's driving me crazy, but she's not in the conversation in the VIP room, and we're not going to do that. So there will be a VIP option that includes 1 sit-down meeting with me, 2 monthly mastermind calls, and then a VIP day. And then there's also a certification program, and the certification program is to become certified in the Ignited coaching, which is all about being in the Ignited Woman. And beyond a piece of paper, beyond that, the certification will put you on my website as a certified practitioner. And it will also be the only way that you can be a part of my team. So in the future, I will have teammates, I will have coaches that I'm working with who will be supporting the work that I do. And I'm planning on it having other levels and expansion, but the only way that you can be a part of that is if you're an Ignited practitioner. So it's going to be really next level. And I have a lot of thoughts and plans and intentions for this. And if you have been in my world for a long time, you will know that I've been a little wishy-washy about the work that I do. And I'm a little bit like, I know I'm here to help people, but I'm not 100% sure how that's going to go, or I'm not sure what the right trajectory is. And this is it. This is the trajectory. This is what's going to happen. This is how it's going to go. And next year, I will be promoting some of the courses that I mentioned to you, but I won't be promoting all of them. Some of them will only be in the Ignited Woman, and then some of them will be by invitation to the public, but it won't be at the price point that I'm inviting you into with the Ignited Woman. So keep your eyes out open for tomorrow, where I will be sending out a separate email about that. The pre-sale is going to go on until December 31st. And we'll move into the new year in a magical way. We will have another free mini program coming up in the new year. But I would say if you're feeling inclined, just go ahead and get on board. Also, the refund policy, I want to talk to you about that really quick because I want to be very clear, and it's very clear on the sales page. But there's a lot of coaches out there that have a no refund policy, and I think that I get that. I understand why that is, because it's intellectual property and kind of a you're in or you're out kind of feeling. And that's always not completely set well with me. And also, it's really challenging to refund somebody who's already consumed the things that you have put out in the world. And so my refund policy is this. You are invited to leave if you decide that something is not working for you. I don't want you to be in something that you don't enjoy. I don't want to deal with that energy. And I don't want you to have to deal with that either. I don't want you to feel like you're in a place where you have to stick it out for a year. And you already know that this sucks and you don't want to be a part of it for you. It doesn't suck, but if you decided for you that you just don't want to, it's just not right. It's just not the right time. It's not the right energy. You didn't know that before you dived in. So you can have the opportunity to leave, and whatever payment you haven't made, you will not make those payments. So let's say 2 months in, you've decided, I don't want to be a part of it, and you've paid for 2 months. You're not refunded that 2 months, but you will not be charged any further than that, and you will be invited to leave. If you paid in full, you will not be refunded. And if you do decide to leave, if you paid in full, you'll have access to all of the programs, although you might not want them. But if you haven't and you've only paid for 2 months, you won't have access. Actually, I take that back. You won't have access. If you decide to leave, you won't have access to any of the programs because you won't have been in the room or the live containers, and we'll be recording them. So if you decide to leave, you decide to leave, but you will not have access to the programs. I hope you stay. I hope you love everything about it and can't believe that you're there, and it's so much fun. But I do want you to know that I take that energy very, very seriously. And I don't want to deal with somebody who doesn't want to be in a program with me. And I want them to be able to go. So that feels very clean and clear to me. I hope it does for you too. So tomorrow I'll be sending out all the information about the Ignited Woman. I hope that you decide to come in and join us. Let's see if there's any final thoughts. I don't see any. So let's see. Oh no, I've lost my Zoom. See if there's any final thoughts over here. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Thank you for being here. I love it. I love what we're doing. I love the work that we're doing, and I can't wait for what comes next. Have a great night, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.